Burke's patient, Kalpana Vera.
Kalpana, named by villagers in Nepal.
She presents with multiple syncopal episodes and ventricular arrhythmia.
So you've been passing out?
Yeah, and having palpitations.
Past medical history of rheumatic heart disease with mitral valve stenosis.
They had to ship me from Zambia to the States for 3 months of treatment when I was 8. Rheumatic fever almost killed me.
Dr. Stevens, what are the primary causes of ventricular arrhythmias?
Valvular disease, mitral valve prolapse, stimulants, drugs, and metabolic abnormalities.
Scrub nurse to OR6.
What? Out.
I saw that. I saw you take that pill.
Oh, it's my pill, you know, the pill.
It's not in your chart, and you're supposed to tell us all the meds you're on.
You're not my doctor. You shouldn't even be here.
She's right. You shouldn't be here.
I saw her take unauthorized medication.
I'm on the pill. And I had grapefruit juice this morning. Since the juice inhibits enzymes involved in the metabolism of OCPs, I thought I'd avoid the interaction by taking it 2 hours after my meal.
She has a doctorate in neuropharmacology, Christina.
Well, Izzy, I don't see oral contraceptives.
Okay, well, now you will. Would you just go back to bed and stop trying to poach my patients?
This
is ridiculous. It's now. Could you just go back to bed and stop poaching my patients? It's not a...
She's in BFib. Call the code.
Gold blue, second floor. Second floor.
No code?
Not anymore. Can you help us get her back into bed?
I'll help. Just give me a minute.
Would you just go back to bed? Please, seriously, go.
Oh, God. You know, Izzy, if she's on OCPs, we mark it down, okay?
Yeah.
You scared us a little there. How's the workup coming?
Electrolytes are within normal limits. Urine tox was negative and EKG's fine. TIL test is scheduled for noon. Oh, and she's on contraceptives.
So?
That's what I said. Other doctor made such a big deal of it.
She didn't tell us before, so I documented it in her med list.
What other doctor?
Christina, she was wandering the halls.
Fine. Take her down for an echo.
An echo? What about cardioversion or ablation? Won't I need a pacemaker or a permanent internal defibrillator?
Although it would be unusual for rheumatic heart disease to cause ventricular dysrhythmias, we still got to check your valves.
I thought your doctorate was in neuropharmacology, not medicine.
It is.
It's odd.
It's odd that I'm not jealous.
No, you have every right to be jealous. It's your territory, and she's peeing all over it. What's odd is Burke's patient. She's been in 4 other hospitals this year. You know, something's not right. Hey, Izzy, how have her studies?
Hey, I have been looking for that everywhere.
Negative, right?
Oh, the echo test showed mild mitral stenosis. The TIL test was negative. We're doing EP studies.
I can tell you what's wrong with her without sticking electrodes in her heart.
Really? Just by the chart?
No, from the pill she took.
They were contraceptives, Christina. Why are you so obsessed with this? Just go back to bed.
I think she's doing this to herself.
You think she's inducing ventricular arrhythmias? She'd have to be crazy.
Her world was turned upside down 14 months ago after a collision while playing netball.
And I came off the court crying because my back was in so much pain. And then the days progressed. I just got worse.
She saw chiropractors, physios and doctors, but no one could help.
I got admitted to another doctor, and then he put me on fluoxetine, and I had a reaction to it. So it sent my body off into a spasming seizure sort of thing, not being able to stop, and I couldn't walk at all.
She spent 2 weeks in hospital learning how to walk again. And despite countless tests and scans, doctors couldn't find anything physically wrong. For her mum, Wendy, the unknown was frightening.
You just see your little girl deteriorate and they can't find anything. And I suppose that's the hard thing as a parent. You don't want to believe it's a psychological issue either, because you think, I can't fix that.
No one really understood it as well. They just thought it was like, it's just a freak case, and I a miracle that I recovered so quick.
But not for long. The spasming in the legs returned and she was readmitted to hospital. And that's when she was diagnosed with...
It is a disorder where patients present with signs and symptoms of a neurological illness, such as having had a stroke or a seizure of some description, but where there's no actual underlying physical illness. Instead, it's the body's response to some underlying stress.
Edition with new information on that mom from Mingo County who's accused of injecting a substance into her 9-year-old son's IV. He was being treated at a hospital in Cincinnati when this happened.
Well, today a grand jury indicted Candy Flutie on 4 felony counts for knowingly causing serious physical harm to her son by injecting that substance into the IV. Brad Myers joins us now. And Brad, today we learned some very disturbing details of what Flutie is accused of actually injecting into her own son.
Yeah, Tim, prosecutors say Candy Flutie used a syringe to inject feces into her son Elijah's IV while he was receiving treatment at the hospital a few weeks ago. Prosecutors now suspect Flutie could suffer from a rare mental disorder that often goes overlooked. A little more than a week after being arrested at Cincinnati Children's Hospital, a grand jury in Hamilton County, Ohio, has indicted Candy Flutie on 4 felony counts, including 2 counts of felonious assault. Prosecutors say during a hospital visit earlier this month, Flutie used a syringe to inject fecal matter into her son Elijah's IV.
She put it into his IV, and when she does this, his fever spikes, as you would expect. Again, we're just thankful that the hospital caught this before the child was killed. We don't believe her intent was to kill the child. We believe her intent was to make him sick, and she succeeded in that.
Hamilton County prosecutor Joseph Dieter says Flutie was under video surveillance for the past year after hospital officials suspected she was tampering with her son's care.
Things were not making sense to them. Some of the when he's been there before, some of the IV lines had been broken and things like that.
Family members say Elijah has spent most of his life in and out of hospitals battling Hirschsprung disease, which affects the colon. Prosecutors now suspect Elijah's illness may have been exaggerated or intensified by Candy Flutie.
She was getting money from people who felt on Facebook, from people who were trying to help the child. You know, she was getting a lot of attention for this. They have every right to put a camera in their rooms for security purposes, and they caught her.
Prosecutors say it sounds bizarre that a mother could do this, but they say while rare, they actually have seen similar cases even in the Cincinnati area. Flutie's son Elijah is now in custody of West Virginia Children's Services. We're told he's staying with a relative. Candy Flutie is free on $50,000 bond. She's set to be back in court next week in Cincinnati. Tim, if convicted of all 4 felony charges against her, she could spend 8 years in prison.
All right. Hey, thanks, Brad. And prosecutors also say after injecting her son with feces, Flutie took a picture of her son and then posted it on Facebook saying he was very ill.
Je kan wel lachen nog, een beetje.
Ja.
Dat is goed. Ben je nu bang?
Ik heb best wel erg zweethanden.
Waarom? Oh ja, jeetje. Hoe komt dat?
Ja, dat heb ik altijd. Van de angst.
Wat is dan het ergste wat kan gebeuren?
Mijn lichaam voelt dan zo verschrikkelijk. Dat kan ik gewoon niet uitleggen. Dan krijg ik het warm en dan denk ik ga echt kapot vallen gewoon.
Maar
ik denk serieus
dat?
ook echt dat ik dood ga vallen. Ik heb ook echt heel vaak op de spoedpost gezeten. Weet je wel, dat ik daar echt helemaal zat van... Ik ga echt kapot, ik heb wel iets aan mijn hart of een klaplong, weet ik veel wat.
Dat heet toch... Dat je...
Ja, ik denk als ik hoofdpijn heb, denk ik ook meteen dat ik een hersentumor heb.
Ja.
Ja, dan raak ik daarvan in paniek, ga ik op internet zoeken en dan lig ik hier in bed en denk ik, oh fuck, ik ben sterven. Nee, ik ga kapot en dan krijg ik het warm en dan krijg ik alle symptomen gewoon echt.
He shot me down, bang bang, I hit the ground. Bang bang, that awful sound. Bang bang, my baby shot me down.
En welke ziektes heb je allemaal gehad?
Ja, ik heb alle soorten kankers in mijn hoofd al gehad. En ik dacht, hartaanvallen heb ik ook denk ik al wel 100 keer gehad.
Dus eigenlijk
ja.
Is er niks aan de hand?
Nee.
Maar dat zit hier?
Ja.
Ja, of zeg ik het dan te...